Welcome to Shut the Front Door! It's our first episode!
I know, this is so exciting. Now, we are flatmates, we're best mates, but we actually never see each other. So we thought, why not start a podcast just to have a catch up?
You're literally going to be listening to our conversations that we would have on the sofa, but in front of you, which is slightly dangerous.
Yeah. It's exciting though. You can listen or you can watch on YouTube as well. And of course, our TikTok handles and our Instagram handles, just at Shut the Front Door.
Great name.
Great name. Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. We've been talking about this for so long.
We have. We are flatmates, we're best mates, but people won't believe us. We don't actually see each other, do we?
Never. Everyone always goes, oh guys, you must spend so much time together.
No.
I never see the girl. Ever.
No, like our like pathways or like our thingies just don't cross, do they?
Our calendars, they just don't align.
No, they don't. So we thought, why not start a podcast so we can actually have time to catch up?
Yeah, you're basically a fly on the wall to everything that we would talk about if we were on our own.
Yeah.
Which is a bit dangerous.
Yeah, for you maybe.
Yeah.
Not for me. Not for me. But there is, do you want to not tell everyone, we obviously work together, but we've never actually worked directly together. I just remember the first time that like I'd heard of Ellie, people were like, oh, she's like a mini you.
Mini! There's nothing mini about me of you. I'm like a big Liv, but yeah, a younger version of Liv.
But that's what people were saying, weren't they?
They were like, you're literally, they were like, you're a mini Liv. But we're both Chelsea fans. I think that's what they thought. We're both Chelsea fans.
Yeah, can I just say, I'm like a proper Chelsea fan,
okay,
right?
I knew there was going to be some sort of slating
no.
early
Ellie
doors.
only goes if she gets free tickets.
That's not true.
Very true. How many, out of the times you've been to Chelsea, how many times do you reckon you paid for a ticket?
This isn't like my boobs are bigger than your boobs, chat. What's the saying?
Your boobs are bigger than mine, so that's fine. But I'm like a weird level of like obsessed with football.
The thing is that what you just said. I'm a big
like
Chelsea
you're a
fan. I'm a normal big Chelsea fan.
Big.
You're
a normal fan. You're a normal Chelsea fan.
Thank you. Okay, I'm a normal skinny Chelsea fan.
Yeah, you're a normal skinny Chelsea fan. And
you're like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Freaky little weirdo.
Yeah. I can't help it though.
No, but there is 5 years between us. So
who's older?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm 30 because everyone always asks me this. If I ever go on like TikTok or I'm ever like live, they're always like, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? And I'm like, you just shouldn't ask a woman their age.
No.
But I will tell everyone I'm 30.
Especially when she's as old as you are.
Yeah, and I'm actually coming up to 31. I can't actually. I was actually with my friends the other day, like my home friends who are all my age, and we were like, I can't believe we're actually 31. Yeah. Like,
do you know what? Like when I thought of a 31-year-old before, I'd think like,
so old.
They're so old, but you are so not. Like,
no, I don't feel
so immature.
That's so rich coming from you.
I'm 25, but I would say I'm slightly more mature in certain situations than you are.
Certain situations. What does that even mean?
I don't know, just sort of.
Okay, well, what situations are you more mature than me in? We'll come to this because we are flatmates. So when it comes to the house, I am the way more mature one. I will just put it out there right now.
Okay, I feel like that's a subject that we can get onto.
Because you also know that
has blown apart from hoovering a few specks.
You take your washing home to your mum. You're 25 years old. You've used the washing machine in our house like twice, and we've lived there since October.
4 times.
You haven't bought anyone. Anyway.
And I still don't understand the settings.
Yeah, literally. I think to be fair,
quick 60.
That's all I do. Just turn it to 60 and press on. Well, it's just easy, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
We'll get onto all of that.
But we did meet. We met at work. We didn't really work together. But the one time that we actually became friends was for a very different reason at work.
Was it an end of season party, but it was later than the end of the season? It was like into the new season. Because like our lives work in football seasons. Like my life doesn't work January to December like everyone else's.
Yeah, it's not a year, it's in
it works from August to May.
Yeah, what were you doing in the 24-25 season? Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Rather than what happened in 2025.
Yeah, literally. But I remember, so it was like an end of season party that I think was later. So it was the start of the new season when you'd obviously started working. And like I'd obviously heard about you, but I'd never met. I don't think we'd ever met, had we? Had we actually ever met before that party?
We had met. Okay. Clearly memorable. We had met. Briefly in the office.
We were looking at a picture the other day of like we had like a photo booth at the party.
We had photos from that party.
Yeah, and that was like the first day.
And the rest is history.
Now we live together.
Yeah.
How many years later? How many years later is it?
That we've been living together?
No, it's in like from that moment. When did we meet? 2020? 2019?
21 or 22 when that happened. 22. I was 22. So.
Only 3 years ago.
3.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Just a whirlwind friendship, if you ask me. This is our space for catching up. And I haven't seen you, so what's your last week been like?
Basically, I was meant to be working all of last week, and then a shoot got changed.
Yeah,
so
conveniently
I thought,
pushed back our podcast filming.
why not go to Cheltenham? So I actually spent 2 of the 4 days last week at Cheltenham. The first day, so I did it like one day out on the piss. Just honestly, one of the guys I was with didn't even see a horse like in the flesh. That's how much we were just like they weren't even bothered about I was bothered. Like, I quite like, I mean, Tom's got me into this because I actually went for the first time with him and all of his mates.
Tim, who just doesn't know him. Tom's Liv's boyfriend, for anyone.
I'm sure most people watching this, even if your girls will probably know who my boyfriend is. You don't think?
Well, he's not that big time.
Honestly,
girls would not know who he is.
But if they follow me, they will. When they watch, if they follow me, they'll know.
They'll follow you.
Well, I'm thinking that the people that are going to listen to this first are going to be the people that follow us and actually follow our lives, and they will probably know Tom. But anyway, I went with him and all his mates, and he is obsessive horse racing. But I got properly into it. Like, I loved it. But I obviously don't like bet and like all the time. But like for Cheltenham, I was like, right. So I went with like, it's quite funny. I went with all like the Sky lot. And I don't really go out with them very often. So, you know, when you like go out with like work people that you don't really go out with, and it's just like opened your eyes. Like
you don't know what they're like before that.
One of the guys, honestly, it was so funny because we were on the piss from like, got the train up from Paddington to Cheltenham at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 in the morning?
Yeah, so we were drinking from like Prosecco, like champagne open on the train.
I'd be on the floor by 10.
So we get to the pub at like 11 o'clock. We're waiting for a couple of others that have come down from Manchester. And some of the stuff they were talking about, I remember one of the boys was like to me, Liv, you're just like, I'm a very, like, chatty, talkative, like just like life of the pie. I'm not life of the pie, but like
she's not.
No, but like I'm usually like involved in the conversations, and I was just sat there, and one of the boys was like, Liv, you're awfully quiet, and because I was just like, you know, when you just hear stuff and you're like, oh my god, like I didn't expect to hear that from you, because I work with them, I don't go on nights out with them, and they were opening up about all sorts, and I was just like, oh god.
Yeah, when people do that, like I feel like I suddenly become so much closer to them.
I'd quite like to know, actually, for those of you watching, do you think women drinking pints is cool? I think that's quite a good topic of debate to find out. Yeah. Anyway, back to Cheltenham, which is the point we were on about.
Anyway, back to you.
When I was at Cheltenham, I wasn't on the pints. I was drinking pink gin and lemonade. Oh, maybe gin and tonic, can't really remember. It was a long old day. And obviously, like, you've been drinking all day, and no one was there for the actual races. So like the later it got in the day, it just got more and more out of control. And then we got like a few free drinks. We managed to wangle our way. One of the guys from Betfair came in.
She wangled away for a free drink.
Came in us, and he was like buying us champagne, I think on the Betfair. I want to say Betfair, could be Betway. I think it's Betfair. On the Betfair like card. So he was just giving us like little bottles of champagne.
Cute.
But by that point, it's like the end of the day, and everyone was so pissed. So we're like walking back to you have to get like, for those who haven't been to Cheltenham, you have to get like a bus back to the station and then obviously go from there. So I'm just like walking, minding my own business, just like happy, you know, like
thinking my outfit looks 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I did get a lot
of compliments on my outfit. I was actually very happy with my outfit. My sister's mate asked if I had a stylist.
Wow.
I was like, no, I just put this together.
Well, yeah, this old thing hasn't stopped banging on about it for the last week.
I did buy a whole new outfit for it. But it was all very like high street. There was nothing like that cost more than like, I don't know, 50 quid. The boots were the staple.
Boots were the staple. I mean, you looked great.
Anyway, thank you. Anyway, so walking back, and like I go to get on this bus and I turn around and no one is there. And there was a group of about 10 of us, and like 2 of them left early because they wanted to get trains back. And I turn around and no one. Basically, you go right to walk back to the station, which takes like hours, and you go left to get on the bus. So I turn around and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm so pissed that I've tried calling them, they're not answering because everyone's battered. And so I called Tom,
as in your boyfriend,
my boyfriend,
Tom,
who sat at home,
who's got absolutely no.
So this is quite
hand
funny.
in the
Yeah,
matter.
this is quite funny. So I call him and I'm like, I can't find my friends, and I'm like bawling my eyes out. And you know what he's like? He went, what? He went, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
And I was like,
what can I do about it?
I just wanted to talk to someone. Like, I'm like hysterically crying by this point. Like, and he's like, I can't do anything. Try and call them. Like, straight to the point. And I was like, okay.
Did you not even try and call them?
No, I did. I tried to call them first, but like they're so pissed that they didn't have their phones out.
Yeah, they've actually just done a runner.
2 of them are going back.
You must have been so annoying.
2 of them are going. Yeah, like and when you're not pissed and your girlfriend's pissed, it's just never going to end well when also like he's in Stourbridge and I'm in Cheltenham. Like, there's nothing he can do. Anyway, so I just like get on the bus, like cry, like not even like I was like hysterical, and I get to the station, and I'm like just like stood on my own crying, and I just see this like boy walking up to me, and I'm like, oh God, please, like I don't get recognised ever really, unless I'm at Chelsea. People might be like, can I have a picture? And I was like, please, now's not the time. And actually it wasn't that at all. He just came up to me and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I know Ellie. And I was like, oh, do you? And he was like, yeah. He was like, obviously I know that you live with her, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay. And he was so sweet.
Who was it?
A guy called James. You know him, James. I don't know his surname. I showed you a picture. James
James Hallis.
And he was lovely. And he literally sat with me the whole journey home. He was like, are you okay? And he was like, I'll sit with you.
Sorry, okay, but my right at this stage. So you're on the train with James. So that is so lovely that he came over.
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, that's really sweet. Big follower. No, I'm joking. We're just friends with him. But the girls and guys that you were with, had they even messaged to check where you were?
No, so on the train home, they were like, is everyone, like, I got messages from the two that were in front of me, as in like, that left early, being like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm on the train home on my own. And then they obviously, do you know why? You know, I told you like one way was walking to the station and the other way is to get the bus.
Yeah.
They basically all went right.
They walked.
And I went left. And I only found that out when I was speaking to one of them late, like a couple of days later. And he was like, Liv, we walked back to the station and it took us like 2 hours.
Wait, so then the people that left you,
yeah,
they didn't check on whether you were okay or not?
Everyone was so pissed, Elle. Like, everyone was absolutely battered. Like, one of them was like asleep the whole journey home. We like sent pictures in the chat. Like, we were talking, so obviously like we were all on different trains, and it was fine in the end. Like, I literally got home, ordered a McDonald's, didn't eat it, and then went to bed. And then I ordered a McDonald's breakfast in the morning.
Order a McDonald's and then not eat it.
I don't know. It's because I was on the phone. So I was on the phone to Tom for ages, and by the time I got off the phone, it was cold, so I then didn't eat it. But yeah, so they unintentionally left me. Okay, so we actually want to know, or have been thinking about, is it acceptable to leave your mate for
on a night out for when
someone,
it's just you two,
for someone you fancy? Is it acceptable?
Absolutely not. So we actually did put this on our stories to get some input, some thoughts from the girls, what they thought. Although actually most of my replies, I think I got a 50-50 reply from boys and girls.
Yeah, see, I just basically said for the girls. So like, but I did get some boys replied, but basically the general consensus was like, from most of the girls, like if I'm just looking here, never. But then a lot of them were like, well, if you're like feeling ill or you're getting attacked, and I was like, no, I should have specified if there's two of you and you're leaving for a man.
Yeah.
Is that acceptable?
And do you know what? And actually...
No, even if they've been without cock for a while. Funny. Same for guys.
No, do you know what? Someone replied to mine saying, oh, if you're in a group, but if you're on your own one-on-one, then it's not acceptable unless your mate really, really fancies this guy. She thinks like he could be, the one. And
but would you be going back with the one after a night out?
That's a very good point, Olivia.
Olivia?
Very good point.
Why do you call me Olivia?
On serious situations, which this is obviously an extremely serious situation. I got only if you meet someone you fancy, but can I just also stipulate that meet here is spelled MEAT.
Oh my God, no, it's not.
So I don't know what he's kind of into.
What did you spell the other day? What did someone spell the other day? And we were like dying.
Like, absolutely.
Oh, what was it?
Was it? I think it was when people spell words that are like
when people spell words wrong.
Yeah, or say
like
words
that,
wrong.
Spelling meat, MEAT. I don't know. I need to find it because we were like cracking up.
It was absolutely hilarious.
No, it was definitely you.
It was me. Yeah, well, no.
Wait, let me find it. You carry on reading the thingies, and I'll look for it.
So I got a same as bros before hoes thing. Don't leave a friend for some dude.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't. Right, okay.
Coming from you. Only if you can say with certainty that she's safe and not drunk. And I also got my mates do it all the time to me, and you're mint, so I'd leave my mates for you. So, win for me.
Oh, I can't find this. It's going to be really annoying.
I think that is a really good point. Only if you can say for certainty that your mate is safe and not too drunk. And I have been left when I am definitely not safe and definitely very drunk.
It wasn't me.
Not the one I'm talking about, wasn't you? She has done it to me before.
Just for context, we were in Spain at my dad's got a little apartment.
In a place I'd never been to before.
So we'd been there for like, this was the first night and we were like, should we go out? Should we not? We went out for dinner and there was a table next to us of guys that were like buying us, they just started like, they were like buying us drinks, weren't they?
They were lovely.
They were actually really nice, but there was this one guy who's like, he was just like, wasn't talking.
He didn't speak.
It was just really
mysterious.
weird. Yeah, he was very mysterious.
Like,
Anyway.
super mysterious.
The night goes on, we went out with them.
We both fancied this one guy because he was very good looking and he didn't speak to us. So
yeah. Anyway,
Dick.
Basically, Ellie. The night went on.
I was like, Liv, can I want to go home, like thinking, and I was like, can I have the key? Thinking, she's now got the hint that I'm ready to leave. We're both leaving. We're staying at your dad's place in a place I don't know. She goes, okay, here's the keys. Gives me them. And I'm like, oh, that plan backfired because now not only am I going home, but I'm going home on my own and she's got the boy. So I
do feel bad. Like, that's not acceptable. That is absolutely not acceptable. But if we're being technical, you actually left me.
We're not being technical.
You left me.
We're looking at the whole situation and you chose a boy over me in a country that we didn't know. Anyway,
what's your actual story?
Not acceptable. My actual story is I am in Infernos, okay? Not acceptable in the first place. We're talking a few years ago now. If you don't know Infernos, it is basically the
most tragic club you've ever been.
Yeah, but a great night out.
It's a great night out. Yeah, I was going to say, when you're like 18, it's a great night out. Not when you're
When I'm dragging Liv there at the age of 30, it becomes a little bit tragic.
Yeah.
On a night out with my mate, she gets a text from the boy that she's been like talking to, and realises that he isn't going to be coming to join us on the night out. So she leaves. But she says to me...
Was it just you two?
It was just us two.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
not
she
bad.
says to me, are you coming? And I was like, no, in my drunk state, thinking, I'm having the best time of my life. It's Infernos. The balloons are about to drop from the ceiling.
Honestly, I've been to Infernos twice and it's the worst place I've ever been.
But when you're there and you're enjoying it, it's like the best thing ever. Now it's not. Now I feel like the oldest person in the room and it's tragic. But I'm in there and I'm like, yes, I'm carrying on. I'm having a great night. So she goes, okay, bye. So she leaves.
Yeah,
I'm now
that's
in
not acceptable.
Infernos on my own. I don't remember a thing.
Did you not just leave and go home?
I didn't just leave and go home. I didn't actually know what had happened. But it's Halloween night at this point. So all I remember the next morning is that I've been taken home by two policemen.
Have I never known
walked
this?
me up the stairs to my flat where I live with my mate. They've walked me up the stairs and seen me into my flat. They've taken me home in their police car. But also, it's Halloween. They could have been anyone.
Yeah, it could
They
have been
could have been anyone
dressed
dressed as policemen.
I reckon it was just two random guys.
Probably two random. I actually don't remember being in the back of their police van. I just
It's
remember the
because
police
they didn't have
van.
one. It was just a white van with two men dressed as police officers.
Carried me home in their police
That is
outfits.
mental. You're lucky
And
they
I'm
were
the next day,
actually
I'm like,
policemen.
don't worry about it. Two policemen actually brought me home. They could have been anyone. Then the next day, I go back to Infernos. So this story is more tragic on my behalf, really. That I was there twice in 2 days.
As in you went back for another night out?
I went back for another night out.
How old were you?
22.
Yeah.
Probably last year. It's last week. And the security guard at Infernos goes, oh no, it's not you again. And I'm like, oh no.
What happened?
What happened? She goes, well, your mate left you. You're sitting on the floor in Infernos, passed out, like literally sat on the floor, like can't speak. I'm so drunk.
Yeah, that's not okay.
They've had to go and get policemen from outside to take me out.
That's actually quite nice though that you actually went back because
lovely
actually
story.
you got some clarity on what actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you hadn't have gone back, you'd be like, how did that happen? So at least you knew.
The anxiety through the roof. But then the next day, knowing that the security guard in Infernos has said, oh no, it's you again. Like, I'm that memorable at Infernos when they see
It's not
it's not a good thing. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
No.
Anyway, I thought that was bang out of order that she just left me there on my own to fend for myself. Okay, so general consensus, is it or is it not acceptable to leave your mate on a night out?
No, if there's just two of you, I don't think it is. But if you like, if there's like a conversation, like I know what I did was wrong, and I put my hands up because that was
I'm
wrong.
glad you're holding your hands
I should
up.
never have left you in a foreign country
You
when you didn't
shouldn't.
even know the place.
No, but I appreciate the fact that you're you're being honest about it.
I know I was in the wrong.
Yeah, good.
But I think
Takes a big woman to say her. A big
Cheers.
woman. takes a huge woman.
I just think I think if your mate really wants to go back with a guy and you go, I really want to go with him, and then you just go, okay, well, I'll go home as well.
Yeah.
You have to have a conversation about it. And if the conversation is like, okay, fine, you go off with him, I'll go home. You can't just leave them in a club on their own. It has to be like some form of conversation.
Better situation, just find them a lad to go home with too.
But you're always left with the butters one, aren't you?
Yeah.
If there's two and your mate's got like a good looking one.
I'm aware. You did it to me. You quite literally did that to me. If he's listening, you were a lovely guy though. Not that...
Anyway,
I'm digging a hole. Anyway, nothing happened. He just helped me find the flat.
So that's
that's general consensus. Yeah. And I think if I was in that place where the opportunity arose, you know, I'd probably want to leave with them too. But I'd make sure that I never left my friend while she was drunk on her own. I'd make sure she went home too. I put her in a cab.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Look at us.
Now every episode on this podcast, we're going to bring a little problem, and we haven't spoken to each other about these problems. They could be to do with each other. They could be just a problem you have, a problem I have. But this will be the first time that both of us are hearing these problems. We're going to do this every episode because I'm sure we'll have plenty of problems. Living together, we're always going to have problems.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem this week?
I do have a problem, but I also know that I was just going to bring a general problem until Liv went, all of my problems are with you. Okay, great. So what have you got then, Liv? No, please.
Okay, you want me to go
Yeah,
first?
you said the same.
Okay.
I just need to know what I'm fighting up against.
This is like to do with like like us living together, and like obviously Ellie has friends around, I have friends around, but Ellie has like a group of friends around usually, don't you? Like your uni mates that come around and stay around.
Yeah.
There was one time where they all came and they're all lovely, and I get on with them so well. Like I usually go out with you or stay in with you, like they're lovely. And then he was like, "Oh, can you?"
Nervous, right?
Can you? No, it's not even that big of a deal. But she was like, "Oh, can I borrow your towels?" Because they all want showers. So I was like, "Yeah, you're fine." Ooh. So I bought all the towels downstairs. They all showered, and what happened? They were just left there. They weren't washed. So I then put all of the towels in the wash because I was like, Ellie's friends have used all of my towels. So I had to do it all myself.
Yeah, sounds like a them problem, to be honest.
It's only a tiny problem, but you don't like, in your head, like all of your friends have used my towels, so you should have just put them all in the wash and gone, Live here, clean towels back.
No, do you know what? I feel awful.
Yeah, no, you should. You left them on the back of the seats in the kitchen.
I feel awful. However,
you don't look like you feel awful.
No, I'm cut up inside. You just can't see it. When someone comes at me, I'm ready to like bounce back with all of my like, oh well, you think that's bad? Well, look at everything you've done. I can lay this, and this. Let me get my notes up. Let me get my notes up.
Do you not have a response?
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do have a response, but I have so many responses. But actually, I'm just going to say, because that's bad. I'm so sorry.
It's not even a big deal, but it's just something that I was like,
no, I'd be fuming.
Why don't you just wash
I'd be fuming at you. If you borrowed my towels.
You probably just thought like, if it was my friends using my towels, I probably wouldn't have even washed them because
that's disgusting.
They're like my best mates.
I know where my friends have been, so
like
I would have washed them.
my best mates, so like I don't really care that much. Like I could use it once and then wash it again. Yeah. But like because they were your mates, I was like, well,
do you know what? I was probably in a mood with you. When was this?
No, it wasn't because it was the weekend that I was going through. I don't think you were in a mood
fine.
with me.
I can't have been in a mood with you then.
You weren't.
I was going to say it might have been one of the times where they came over and you and Tom had left the house in a tip, and I was like, my friends are over. Could you not just move your stuff and clean your stuff? So I was going to say I was in a mood because of that.
No, you weren't in a mood.
That would be one of my moans, but moving on to my actual moan. Okay, I actually wanted your actual advice on something. Okay. Obviously, you know, I've just started dating again.
Yeah.
Which is quite big for me, and it takes a little while to get here.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what the rules are. Right, when you're seeing someone.
Yeah.
So like I've been on a couple of dates, couple different people, and I'm just like, I just don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah.
And I've been on like, say you've been on like 2 dates, and I'm like, you can't break up with them because you're not seeing them all the way. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. But I also I can't just never reply to them again. Like what are you meant to do? Like you just can't not say anything.
I think in that situation, as hard as it is, just send a message and just tell them.
Saying what though?
Just say, but you can even say in the message, like, I know it's not that deep because we've only seen each other a few times, but I'm just not feeling it.
Okay, right. Let me add some stipulations into this.
That's easier said than done, I understand. But if it was the other way round and like someone was saying it to me, obviously I'd hate it, but you would appreciate that so much more than if they carried on talking to you and they didn't like you.
Yeah.
And then if they stopped talking to you and because that was their way of dealing with it. Because there is nothing worse than like someone not replying to you and that's just the way it ends. That's just so rude.
No, I completely agree. You can't just not say anything at all.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's different. Like, what if you fizzle out? Okay, but my point is, sorry, I was going to add.
I think replies get slower, don't they?
Yeah.
If the replies get slower
normal.
and
If
less
they're
and
getting
less
slower,
and less, and
yeah.
it just naturally fizzles out, you're like, well, fine.
Yeah. When it naturally fizzles out, it's like it's fine. But what if they're like, okay, like I'm gonna come to London and see you.
I'm busy.
I mean, you know, I've got a lot on, but I'm not busy
Ellie's a
every single
really,
day.
really bad liar. Like,
So bad.
she can't just like think of something in her head to say. She has to just like, and I suppose it's good, like you just tell the
can't
truth. But
lie.
like, if she's single and in a bar and someone comes up to her and goes, "Oh, do you have a boyfriend?" She'll be like, "No."
and
I'm
this
like,
person is like
I know, just say yes.
not good
It's
looking,
really
not my time. No, and I'm right. We got stopped. Yeah,
It's really not
at
that
Asda.
difficult.
We got stopped at Asda. These two guys come up to us like, "What's your number?"
Why did you just kiss your
I swear they did that. I swear. Wait,
I don't think they actually did.
you from round here? And I'm like,
That's actually
and
what
I
I
was
said,
like,
yeah.
yes, 10 minutes away. Like,
And he was like, "Yeah, this is where we live. This is our address. This is our postcode.
my national insurance.
We're walking." Why did you just dribble? Lovely. No, look, they followed us like they followed us down the escalator when clearly they didn't need to go down the escalator because when we got to the bottom of the escalator, they walked back up the stairs because
But they
Ellie's
followed
like
us down
entertained a
being
conversation with them.
Like, I was like, they were like, oh, sorry, like to me, like, I just, like, I thought you were like really good looking. Like, what's your name? And I'm like, I'm Ellie, and this is Liv.
And then they're like,
Like,
"Are
can
you
I have your number?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
she's
yes.
like, "Yeah."
Puts in my correct number, and then they're
Because he would have just called
yeah,
you.
I was scared that he was going to call me. And then
I don't know why
and
you
then
don't
he
just
goes,
say,
and
"I've
then,
got a
are you from around here? And I'm like, yeah, I just live in Balham actually. It's just up the road. Fan's coming here for a cuppa.
You're so
then he
bad
texts
at that.
me straight away, and I'm like, well, I can't reply to that.
I just say even if obviously I have a boyfriend, so it's easy for me to say I've got a boyfriend. But if you don't have a boyfriend, it's so easy to just be like, "I've got a boyfriend," and then it
can't
deads
lie.
every.
I know
You need
it
to get
sounds like
no,
easy.
No. You need to get better at that because it's so easy to just say yes.
Going back to my issue,
Yeah.
can I just add a stipulation?
Yeah.
Right. What if the only reason that I don't like this person, there's so much going for them, but what if the only reason I don't like them is because I'm not over my ex yet? Then I'm cutting something off that actually could be something in the future, but it's my issue.
Yeah, but there's no reason why if you dead it now, like it's not deep. So then if in a year's time, if you're feeling
What if he's out of stock by then?
well, then that's the risk you've got to take. That's the risk you're willing to take. But you're not in the right headspace right now to be dating this person. You're quite clearly not because you're not over your ex. So, but you in a year's time, you'll be in a very different place, and you might see him. He might pop up. You might bump into him somewhere, and it might be different. But for now, I think you just got to be honest. I think honesty, as
But then
cliche
everyone
as it,
keeps saying to me, keep
No.
going on dates, but or like
but you
whatever.
know you're not going to like him.
I know.
So you've got to either just
No, but okay, just say even with other people, like, what am I just not meant to date then now?
no, because you might meet someone that then you're like, oh my god. You don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying stop going on dates, but quite clearly he's not the person
maybe
that's
it will
going to
take
make
that
you...
right person that then I will
Exactly.
move on.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what you should do. I think if
Okay.
it hasn't already naturally fizzled out, I think you need to just send him a message, be honest with him, and just say, listen, like, you don't need to give him a reason. You don't owe him that.
Yeah.
But you just need to be honest and just say, my replies have been slower. You might have noticed. I'm not in the right place to be dating right now. Something like that. I don't know. I'm saying this as if I'm some sort of relationship expert.
Yeah,
which I'm
I know.
definitely not. But I think that's good advice.
I know, but okay, sorry, last point on it. But then, like, it is quite nice, like, distraction, like, talking to someone and, like, you get on with and, like, you're like, yeah, okay.
I can't win. Okay, whatever.
No, I know, but I can't win. In my head
Yeah.
can't win.
You got to make your mind up about which one it is.
I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life.
Oh God, you're so. Honestly, the person that doesn't think she'll meet anyone ever again.
Yeah, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life.
Which you will. But anyway, that's
What?
why I think
I will
no,
meet
you will meet someone. That's what I think you should do. That's what I think you should do.
Okay. Episode 1.
Episode 1 of Shut the Front Door. It's complete.
Completely,
I've actually had
mate.
such a good day. It's been so nice catching up with you.
I know, it's actually mad. This is the most amount of time we've spent together in ages.
It genuinely is.
So apart from the little moan that you had at me, really
There will
appreciate
be
you
plenty
sharing
more,
your
don't you
problems.
worry.
But we want to hear your problems, your dilemmas, so send us a DM at Shut the Front Door, or you can email us shutthefrontdoor@insanity.com. So yeah, send us all your problems. You can voice note us, send an email, do whatever, but we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we definitely do. Remember, you can listen wherever you get your podcast, and you can watch as well, because we are going to be on YouTube, which is very, very exciting. And of course, TikTok, Instagram, it's at Shut the Front Door.
And can I just let you all know that we won't be looking like this every week if you're watching us.
We might. No, facially wise, we won't.
I absolutely will not.
But we might be in trackies, comfy, cozy vibes.
Trackies every week, but the face makeup, that's a 1-2 week thing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for watching, listening. We've loved it, and we will see you next time.